KC9VKV, Sugar 5 India.
Sugar 5 India, is that Roger? Come back with that call.
That's Roger. Hello there, I didn't catch your handle, but I did hear you were in broadcasting. I was listening to you on an SPR in Washington, D.C. So I thought I'd come out to the shack and see. My name is Ted, Tango Easy David Ted. I'm in Hot Springs, Arkansas, about 65 miles southwest of Little Rock. And you got a really nice signal here. So anyway, back to you, KC9VKV, KS5I. Go ahead.
Roger, Ted. Now, give me your call sign again, slowly, phonetically, please.
Roger, Kilowatt, Sierra, 5, India, KS5I. I'm an old broadcaster myself. Matter of fact, I'm still kind of a broadcaster. I take care of about 4 stations here in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Roger that, roger that. Now, what radio are you running, sir?
I am running a Yaesu ST1000MP Mark V. And I have an electric voice RE20 hooked up to it, so.
Roger that, RE20, nice mic. The thing we have is a setup for a lot of radios, mainly, well, not mainly, but we've done about 170 ICOM 7300s and about 50 ICOM 7610s. And what the setup is, we wind up with about a 3 dB audio dynamic range, which interpolates to about 80 to 85% average peak modulation. So it's very strong, but the best part about the audio setup is that it's extremely transparent and that you can't hear things working, mainly because, well, starting with the compressor, we recommend that you engage the compressor and run that compressor at about a 3 out of 10. Engage the compressor and run it at about a 3 out of 10. Roger, roger.
Yeah, so what kind of radio did you say?
Well, we set up all radios, but we've done a bunch of 7300s and a bunch of 7610s. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. Okay, well, I'm not running that.
Roger. I was just thinking about, bringing your audio up. You sound fairly unprocessed and a little heavy on the bottom end EQ-wise. We try to get that EQ up to increase the intelligibility, particularly on the top end EQ. Like I say, if you would be interested, we could spend some time and set you up. It's up to you.
Book and see how to get into this thing. When I set this one up, I tuned it in on my Collins KWM2, listened on the headphones, ran it into a dummy load, and I've got a digital audio workstation here. I do a bunch of work for Still for Broadcast stations, and I have no processing in front of it. You're very astute because I do not have any RF processing into the RL right now. I'm just running it barefoot with the RE20 straight into the radio. I have gotten into the menu and tweaked it around a little bit. And yeah, some would probably say it's a little heavy on the bottom end. But I hate that tinny sound. I like it a little wider and natural sounding. And like I said, for me to change it, I'd have to get in. You don't have time for me to do that, I don't think. What was your handle again, by the way, Laura?
Our name here is Jim, Juliet, India Mike, and we're located just on the other side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Kentucky. Roger?
Oh, Roger. Yeah, okay. Well, very good. I'm about 65 miles southwest of Little Rock. You sound really good over here. I heard you say again you were a broadcast guy. You had done a lot with AM, which was my first love. I'm not quite 70, but I can see it from here. And I've been in it, let's see, 1960, 51 years. So that's kind of my background. So anyway, Jim, I'll let you run, but I wanted to see if you could hear me, and I wanted to say howdy and tell you had a nice sounding signal, and all the best to you. God bless. Have a great weekend. So back to you, KC9VKV, KS5I.
Roger, Ted. Appreciate the shout there. Yeah, we spent 50 years, wound up as a production director for WHAS Radio, 50,000 watt Louisville station from 1970 until 79. Roger.
Oh, yeah. Well, very good. Yeah, in Louisville. Yep. Well, I wasn't, I take that back. I was, too, the production manager. I still do a little bit of that. I've got a chain of farm stores I do all their voiceover stuff for. They're up to almost 100 stores in 7 states. And I'm one of the owners of a 4-station combo in Worthington, Minnesota. And I take care of 4 local FM stations here in Hot Springs, 3 Christian stations and 1 commercial one. So that pretty much keeps me busy there, Jim.
Roger, Ted. Okay, we have been recording between now and 5 and since 3:30. So we do have your audio if you would be interested in hearing it. We on YouTube, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will bring up our Qso-Vlog page. And on that page, you'll be looking for a title called My Group Air Check 7-19-19. We have about 650 Qso-Vlogs, but usually the most recent is on page 1. So this Qso would be entitled My Group Air Check 7-19-19. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. I'm going to do that. I will do that after a while. So, very good, Jim. I think you sound like a neat guy. I'll bet you we could talk for a long time if we got off to the side here someplace. So, 73, take care. Thanks for picking me up. KC9VKV, KS5I.
Roger, Ted. And on our video, you will see a spectrum analyzer, which is hooked to the audio of our receiver, which is a Yaesu FT990, highly modified in that it is flat audio from 100 cycles to in excess of 4K. And like I said, we do have the spectrum analyzer tied to that. And so you can look at your audio curve, and that, what you see is what you got. So, three's Ted, and you have a real good afternoon. Good to meet up with you. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Well, I'll be real interested in looking at that. Give me a little, give me one quick little hint. Am I within the band? Am I 3KC, or is it a little wider than that? Over.
I'm looking at your audio on a view meter, so I'm making readings of your dynamic range mainly, your modulation level and the dynamic range. So I would suggest that if you dropped 3 dB on your bottom end EQ and just left your top end like it was, I think your curve would be a lot more intelligible if push comes to shove in a marginal signal strength situation. Roger?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true. You get in there and the low end tends to muddy it up and the high end tends to make it more intelligible. It is by intent a little heavy on the low end, but I try to make my voice as low as I can. We've all tried to do that for so many years. You've probably done that a few times yourself there, Jim. Over.
I've always approached it from the standpoint of intelligibility. I don't want to complicate things from, being able to hear the words that I'm saying. I want my words to be heard and understood. So, I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot, Roger?
Well, yeah. And you know what? There is nothing wrong with that. That's probably exactly how we all should look at it. But then the ego comes into play, and I have yet to meet the broadcaster that doesn't wish he had a little more low end in his voice.
Well, that may be, but you know, I never really went through that. I guess I had a couple of friends that worked for FM stations, and I could never quite understood their psychology by getting so bassy that the average person, you know, which is not concentrating precisely on what you're doing in radio. That's the thing I think that most broadcasters don't understand. They think that everybody is just sitting there listening to what they're saying. That's not true. These people that are listening to radio, quote unquote, are doing 1,000 things simultaneously. You're just part of it. So that's why I want to be able to reach out and get their ear, even though they're, you know, spanking the baby.
You know what? You are absolutely right. Absolutely right. The president of broadcasting, of programming for Entercom used to work for me. And the way he describes a broadcast station, to most people, they see it somewhere like the thermostat and turning up the... They don't hang on every word we say. They either like what they hear coming out of their radio, or they don't. They don't, they just go over and switch it on. It's kind of like your thermostat. If the house is too cold, they go over and turn it up. And he said, we think we're such a big deal, and most people could care less. Over.
Roger. It's amazing, you know. Like I say, I spent 50 years in broadcasting, and you know, the beautiful part about it, as far as I'm concerned, was that I was a part of broadcasting when creativity used to mean something, you know.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, I'll bet you remember the Chicago Radio Syndicate, Dick Orkin and Bert Burgess. I thought those guys were great, though.
What was that series called?
Well, they had two of them. They had Chicken Man. Bok, 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 he's everywhere. Hello, I'm Chicken Man. And then they also did the Tooth Fairy, over.
Yeah, Chicken Man was the main one, though.
Yes, it was. I'm trying to remember his name. What he went by when he wasn't Chicken Man. Newton Snookers or something. Maybe that was the Tooth Fairy. But, they were great. I thought those guys were great.
Roger, Ted. Well, let me jump out of here, sir. 3's that away, and you have a real good day. And like I say, if you get a chance, go to YouTube and check out the call sign KC9VKV, and to the Qso-Vlog page, and look for my group Aircheck 71919. Roger.
I surely will. You know, have you ever met a radio guy that didn't like listening to himself? 73, Jim. Thank you so much, and again, God bless. KC9VKV, KS5I, and I'll be clear. Bye-bye.
Roger, Ted. 3's that way, sir. Have a good afternoon. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor, in the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. If you've got a radio you want to check out the audio, give me a shout. KC9VKV.